Palantir recently got recognized as a leader in artificial intelligence and machine learning software platforms by Forrester Research. And this just got me thinking how Palantir truly are just that. I want to spend today's video talking about something very, very important, something that is not spoken about enough and many people don't actually appreciate about Palantir at all. And this thing that I'm going to explain really sets them apart, and it starts to help us understand why people like Cathie Wood have come out and said that they think Palantir will actually be able to disrupt the likes of Microsoft. Of course, this is a wild statement, and at the current time, I don't think many people truly understand what is meant by that, how it could actually happen in reality, and whether or not it is even possible. Now, the way that she sees this potentially playing out and happening is kind of different to what today's video is about, but let me just explain what she thinks, because it all ties in. And she basically explained the way in which she thinks that one day Palantir, whether that's 5 years, 10 years, could actually disrupt companies like Microsoft, is because many companies around the world are waking up to artificial intelligence. And all these companies, they know that they do not want to be left behind. This is the new thing, it is here to stay. And those companies that don't take it seriously and don't integrate themselves into this new world, this new era that we're living in, will be at a big disadvantage. Now, Cathie also explains, and we speak about this actually on this channel quite a lot, that many companies out there, they have chatbots, they have some sort of artificial intelligence offering, they have point solutions, but Palantir are able to actually take a step back and see the bigger implications of what businesses, enterprises, government organizations actually need. Right now, I think people think that they need chatbots, they need point solutions, but actually what they need and what they're going to need in the future is way more than that. Palantir are able to look at and take the data across an entire business organization and actually integrate all that data into one place. Now, let's just be really realistic here, because right now Microsoft's market cap is sitting around $3 trillion. Just for some reference here, Palantir is currently around $70 billion. 3 trillion, 70 billion, sorry. Very different. And in 2023, Palantir did $2.25 billion in revenue, whereas Microsoft did $211 billion in revenue. And let's also be clear here, Microsoft have many different business segments, different business areas, and I don't think for a single second that Cathie is saying that Palantir will disrupt all of those different segments. For example, LinkedIn or Xbox, I don't think Palantir are about to come in and disrupt those two business areas of Microsoft's. Now, many companies, and I'm actually sure you've probably seen this firsthand, I know I have a lot of different systems in place. They might have one system, one operating system for doing this area of the business, but then this area might work on a different system. And then there also might be a legacy system that has come from a merger or an acquisition that they did 10 years ago. That's still being used, and only, 2 people in the organization have the login for that and know how to use that system. So if you need it, you need to go and ask them. It's in a lot of big companies, there isn't just one central place for all the data. There's not just one operating system. It can get very confusing. This means, and again, you'll know this if you've ever experienced it, that data is just flying everywhere. It's not very easy to find, it's not connected, and this just leads to a lot of time wasting and a lot of headaches. But what Palantir can do is that they can enter these companies and they can find all this data from all these different operating systems, and they can actually link it together. Anyway, this is great. This is powerful, and I do think this needs to be spoken about time and time again, but this is not what this video is about. I just thought it would be interesting to actually think about what Cathie is saying, and then sort of link in this other thing that I'm thinking about in today's video, and how they actually work together, and how these two things combined really could start disrupting the likes of Microsoft, and really do set Palantir as being a true leader now and in the future. And like I said, what I want to talk about isn't something that I think a lot of people really spend time thinking about, and a lot of people don't really even realize. So Palantir are doing something very smart, very powerful, and this is actually aside from them selling their software solutions like artificial intelligence platform and Foundry, and actually providing these capabilities to commercial enterprises or government organizations. So what they are doing is they are actually reinventing the modern enterprise operating system. But let me explain. Palantir are enabling businesses to build customized solutions, operating systems on top of Foundry, for example. And these are normally industry specific. So a great example of this is Skywise. Skywise is actually a platform built between Airbus, which I'm sure you've heard of Airbus, and Palantir, and it is specifically for the aviation sector. But these aren't limited. You know, although they're normally sector specific, they can really be for any sector out there. So in other words, Palantir's technology is kind of forming the foundation for which then businesses can come along and they can actually develop complex, custom tailored systems that can drive their overall operations. This is highly scalable. That's a really important part here. Now, the reason that I've gone down this path and been promoted to think about this more deeply and just how bullish this is for Palantir, and which ultimately led to me making this video to truly think about the implications of this, is because of a new Eich deal that came out. But I just want to say this isn't the first of its kind by any means. So recently, and I did speak about this in a video where I was walking outside not that long ago, we heard about a new partnership, a new deal, a new contract that was happening between a company called Surf Air Technologies and Palantir. This isn't a new collaboration by any means. They've actually been working with Palantir since 2021, and they've been deploying Palantir's tools within their organization, and they've been seeing some fantastic results in doing so. One statistic that comes to mind is that they've seen a 25% increase in the revenue per trip. But last month, we heard that actually Palantir announced that they were building an all-in-one platform with Surf Air on top of Foundry and AIP called Surf OS, Surf Operating System. The idea is to build something that will revolutionize the advanced air mobility industry. The great thing here is that this isn't simply going to end here. Palantir aren't going to work with Surf Air Technology and build Surf OS, and then that's kind of the limitations of this deal. They'll take the money from it, they'll say thank you very much, see you later. It's not really going to work like that, because like I said earlier, this stuff is really highly scalable. They are building an operating system. So this will actually be able to be used by a large market, the regional air mobility market. And this means that Palantir indirectly over time get access to many new customers. So it's not a direct deal in terms of Palantir are going to sign a new contract with this partner, with this company, with this company, and this company. They are going to be working with Surf Air Technologies. They are building something, and then this something will actually then be used by many customers within an industry. And this is what we're already seeing that has happened with, what's it called? With Skywise. Like I said, with the aviation industry. They built this with Airbus, but then this is actually being used by many other customers within that industry and many of Airbus's customers. So indirectly, Palantir are sort of in the center, and they're building all of these connections out. And this means that they're reaching many verticals and exposing themselves to hundreds and hundreds of new customers this way. You might be thinking, well, how big could the advanced mobility regional air industry actually be? Well, I've got a statistic here. So reports from McKinsey & Co and NASA estimate that the size of the regional air mobility market could reach between $75 billion and $115 billion by 2035. And then we've also got a report from Morgan Stanley estimating that the total addressable market, the TAM, for urban air mobility could reach $1 trillion by 2040 and $9 trillion by 2050. And like I said, this is just one example of them doing this. Palantir aren't just doing this with Surf Air Technologies, they're doing this across the board. And this is something that isn't spoken about. We speak about Foundry, we speak about AIP, we speak about the boot camps, but what we're not speaking about is how Palantir are actually offering themselves as foundational software. Now, just going back to Skywise again, because there are some similarities here between Surf OS and Skywise. Skywise was also built on Foundry. It was built between Airbus and Palantir, like I mentioned earlier, but it is targeting a slightly different segment of the aviation industry. Skywise is looking at the large commercial airlines and manufacturers. So although they sound very similar, there are some big differences in the problems that they're actually targeting. So with these operating systems that Palantir is building alongside other companies, Palantir will also be getting a cut. There's no real information out there as to how the revenue will actually be split, how it will work, what percentage Palantir will get. We don't really know that, but we can assume with like strong confidence that, you know, this will benefit Palantir. They of course already have their platforms that you guys will have heard about. They have Foundry, they have Gotham, they have Apollo, they have Artificial Intelligence Platform, AIP, but they also have AIP Now, which I understand as a collection of pre-built, easy-to-use AI products and intelligent workflows. But they are also providing foundational software. This is what I'm speaking about. They have all that stuff that people talk about, but people aren't speaking about how Palantir are providing foundational software. Highly scalable. This means that Palantir have the golden ticket. They have the software that is serving as the underlying platform or infrastructure upon which other applications and systems can be built, and businesses even can be built on top of. Therefore, they are positioning themselves to becoming fundamental to the operation of complex and highly efficient systems. Now we can make another link to Microsoft. Foundry in particular is becoming like Microsoft's OS, Microsoft's operating system from the 1980s, in that it's serving as a foundational layer to actually build and run other applications on top of. Just as Microsoft's OS catalyzed the growth of the PC ecosystem by providing a standardized platform for software development, Foundry empowers organizations across various industries to actually integrate, analyze, and manage data. This enables the creation of custom application and drives innovation, kind of like how Microsoft's OS actually democratized personal computing. It can be seen as the reinvention of the enterprise operating system, centered around data integration and seamlessly connected applications. We can also think back to the dot-com era and early internet technologies. These were foundational, and then other companies like your Dell and your Cisco built infrastructure and built tools on top of these. And Palantir is now doing a similar thing, but they are positioning themselves as a centerpiece, as a core part of the AI ecosystem moving forward. And that's exactly what I think we're going to see. Now, I've given you two examples of this. I've given you Surf OS and Skywise in this video, but there are many other examples that I want to quickly just run through and mention, just in case you actually want to do some further research and deeper digging into this. So I've just got a list here that I'm going to refer to because I don't want to forget any that I've jotted down. So obviously we've got Surf OS, which is between Surf Air Technologies and Palantir. That's the one that came out last month, really recently. We've got Skywise, what we've spoken about, Airbus and Palantir. You should look into that one. That's really interesting. A lot of great work going on over there. We've got Surgence, again, this is probably quite a known one. This is between Concordance and Palantir. And Surgence actually aims to optimize the healthcare supply chain in particular. So not just the healthcare sector, the healthcare supply chain. The whole point of Surgence is to ensure the seamless flow of critical medical supplies, which ultimately will then enhance patient care. It will save lives. We've also got Vantage, which is an example with the US Army. We've got Athena, which is actually looking at semiconductor chip shortages and solving that problem. That's really interesting. We've got Agora, which is for carbon management. Then we've got Warp Speed, which is a very recent thing. And that's an operating system for the modern American manufacturer. Now, I'm sure there are other examples, so feel free to drop them in the comments below. This scalability that I keep talking about when it comes to Palantir offering foundational software is really important, because it's this that is allowing Palantir to continue, and we're already seeing this, actually permeate various industries. So we have everything, and this is permeated deeply. We have everything from aviation with Skywise and Surf OS to healthcare with Surgence. And then we go into the chip industry, and you know, like I keep saying, the web is growing, and each operating system that is being built is actually specifically tailored to solve a particular problem that is found within that industry. So to conclude here, I think we need to not actually think about Palantir so one-dimensionally. I think we need to not think of Palantir as offering point solutions, as offering targeted solutions or targeting solutions, single purpose applications, if you will. Instead, I think we need to start thinking about how Palantir are actually offering foundational software, operating systems, and then we need to build everything else that they do on top of that. Please do leave anything in the comments below that I may have missed or that you want to add to this video that will be helpful for other investors. I know some of you guys watching my videos are highly technical people. You know this stuff really deeply, and please, if you are that knowledgeable, do let me know in the comments what you're thinking and feeling about this. And if you want to come and join my Patreon, you'll get access to my Discord as well. We chat about all this stuff over there. I invite you to do that as well. You don't have to, it's there as an offering if you want to. We have great conversation every day. You'll get my portfolio updates and anytime I buy and sell any position. Loads of good people over there. So if you do want to, link is in the description. Thank you so much for watching this video. I do appreciate your time. I hope this video has helped or at least triggered a thought in your mind at all. That would be a win for me, and I'll see you in the next video.